All right, welcome back to Speak for Yourself from the Crib. Jason Whitlock, Marcellus Wiley, joined once again by LeVar Arrington from his crib. All right, let's move to New Orleans. And Sean Payton, yesterday on ESPN, seemed to indicate that Drew Brees, this would be his final season. He came back today and clarified his comments, saying he messed up, that Drew Brees is going year to year. He's not certain this is his final season. All right, Marcellus, do you buy this clarification, or are the Saints planning on this being Drew Brees' final season?
No, I don't buy this clarification. You know I don't. I trust his first response. Sean Payton, like, oh, you know what? I actually meant he's just taking it year by year. April Fools. Ain't nobody being fooled by that. Come on, Sean Payton. You know what you really meant, which is just trying to gently nudge Drew Brees out the door. If not, after a year, maybe kick him out the door if you can do that. But it's going to be difficult because of all the equity Drew Brees has in the New Orleans community. But it's funny what's happening here behind the scenes is really this perception that happens with a lot of franchises. I actually benefited from this same thing. When you're a backup, I was behind Bruce Smith for my first few years. I would play 15 snaps, 20 snaps, luck up and get a sack. And all of a sudden, upstairs, they start running the projections. Wait a minute. In 20 plays, Wiley got a sack? Imagine if he played as many plays as Bruce Smith, 70 or 80. May get 3 or 4 a game. That's not how it works, because Taysom Hill has thrown 15 passes in the NFL, and now they're starting to make these projections that he's ready for that full-time starting duty. After 15 throws, when you still have Drew Brees, a top 5 quarterback on your roster, patience is a virtue right here. I would ride Drew Brees until the wheels fall off and not force Taysom in there yet.
I buy the clarification in terms of settling down the amount of media attention that will be given to Drew Brees if you allow this to be his swan song season. He meant what he said on that interview, and that is the clarity. This probably is indeed Drew Brees' last season as a New Orleans Saint. It also gives them an opportunity without pressure to evaluate Taysom Hill and what he may bring to the table when he gets more opportunities without Bridgewater being in the fold as a backup as well. So it may not be Taysom Hill's team after Drew Brees goes, but they are allotting Drew Brees the opportunity for one last time to try to get that elusive second Super Bowl that they've been so seeking. They're going to be competitive for one more year, and you take you take off the pressure of, okay, Drew Brees' interviews, Sean Payton's interviews, the players' interviews every single week about this being the last time Drew Brees plays this team, this being his last week 3. You're now giving them the opportunity to focus on football by this clarification.
Well, let's keep in mind, and Marcellus referenced it, that this was sparked by a question about Taysom Hill. And it seems to me like Sean Payton is kind of falling in love with Taysom Hill and the idea of Taysom Hill and what all the diversity he can bring to an offense. And you got to remember, I think it was just in their last playoff game, there were some of us who are like, man, put Taysom Hill back out there. Drew Brees is struggling. Sean Payton may have been one of those people. And that's, again, why I don't believe the clarification. I think, like Bill Belichick fell in love with Jimmy Garoppolo, Sean Payton is falling in love with Taysom Hill, even though he only has 15 passes in the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, look, think about it. 1st and 10 on your own 25. We don't know who Taysom Hill is. Maybe Sean Payton feels like he knows who he is, but there's a large amount of football between where Drew Brees is, even in his worst, which looked like that playoff game we were talking about, and Taysom Hill at his height in that same moment. There's still a lot of meat and potatoes football that is undiscovered with Taysom Hill under center. So if you're Sean Payton, if you're the New Orleans Saints, Drew Brees just came off a 2-year deal. If you really want Drew Brees out the door, give him a 1-year Phillip Rivers deal for $25 million. Give him the ceremony and the proper exit he deserves, and then put Taysom Hill in there. Right now, they're juggling because I think they're not being sincere in what they really want.
Yeah,
LeVar, you
if
got
I
a
could
final
piggyback
thought?
Yeah, my final point is you're killing two birds with one stone here. You're giving Drew Brees that respect and that opportunity to try to get that Super Bowl, but you're also saying if we start to play Taysom Hill and we play him and he can't live up to that billing of being a starting quarterback, you have a safety net in putting Drew Brees back out there and then figuring it out from there.
Hey, LeVar, I do want to end on this note. There is no health risk to combing your hair. I've checked with doctors. You can go ahead and comb your hair without any threat of illness during this quarantine. So
my hair looks way better than yours right now, Jason Whitlock.
Uncle Jimmy's coming up next. We got an approval rating on that HBO documentary and Tristan Dawkins. Stick around. All right, welcome back to Speak for Yourself from the Crib. Jason Whitlock, Marcellus Wiley. All right, joined by our man Uncle Jimmy from his crib.
Yes, sir.
Uncle Jimmy, who's your big dummy of the day?
Oh, man, this is cake right here. Big dummy of the day go to the person who said that they didn't feel exploited by college athletics. Man, if you don't say this thing right, you wasn't good enough to be exploited by college athletics. Come on, man.
Let's go. We're here. 1,000 people at the game. Come on, man.
Come on, man.
All right, well, listen. We had a conversation earlier about the HBO documentary, The Scheme, which I thought was going to be a story about how you got this job, but it ended up being about college basketball and amateurism. Uncle Jimmy, I know you got a chance to watch The Scheme. Did you have any reaction?
Oh, yeah, I had a reaction. Let me put it like this, man. I heard all of y'all talk, man, and y'all missed it, man. To me, the star of this whole thing, of this whole documentary, was Christian Dawkins' mama, Lucretia Von Dawkins. You know what I'm saying? See, remember in the beginning of this, remember when Christian said he wasn't a lot of the phone call? He was a lot of the phone call, all right. His ass just didn't want to have to call his mama. Now, see, and when he did get a chance to make a phone call, did he call his mama? No, he called his sister. Because he already knew what his mama was going to say. That's why when his mama got on the phone, he was already crying. Look, man, ain't no man in the world want to make that call to his mama when he know he done messed up. Man, we would rather call our daddy than call our mama. If we had a daddy.
That's true.
Hey, man, but you know what? Uncle Jimmy always say, right is right, wrong is wrong, and it ain't no in the middle. Christian Dawkins is a wolf in sheep's clothing. He's a handler. Parents hand their kids to him. He's a handler. Parents hand their kids to him because he makes them feel safe. When the fact of the matter is, he don't mean no more good for their kids than them white coaches coming into their house, coming to get their kids. The fact is, both of them got one thing in common. They own personal embitterment. Bottom line, case closed. That's all chase, no lace. What you got, man?
Wow. You went all the way there. Well, I'm going to have to marinate on that one. But look, I got Christian Dawkins as a dumpster fire. 4 in job performance, 2 in all-time greatness, 8 in character, 20 in authenticity. Dumpster fire. The internet agrees with me.
Nah, man.
Marcellus.
Man. He did his job. It's just he doing it in a corrupt world. So messed up for him, but yeah, I give him respect.
See you tomorrow.